Hey team, welcome to Inside the Movie Photographer with Jason Boland. Right, one of the questions I get asked constantly is how do I deal with my workflow when I'm shooting thousands of images a day on a film set, or as a hockey dad, photographing my son's games. Now, I use NX Studio, Nikon NX Studio, because it's proprietary for making adjustments to your raw images. Now, a lot of people are going to sit there right now and go, yeah, but it doesn't save them, blah, blah, blah. You make changes in the camera. Well, yes, it does. I make the changes in the camera and then I open it in NX Studio. I make some more raw adjustments there, and then I export them as either JPEG, or if I need a higher file size, as TIFF. So I'm going to start right at the very beginning. This is for you, Julie. This is my mate. She keeps asking me questions about my workflow, and I give her little bits and pieces. And I said, Julie, I tell you what, I'm just going to do a video for you, and I'll put it on my YouTube, and you can watch it as many times as you like, and it'll be easier. So first up, when I'm downloading, I either use a Hoodman card reader, or mostly now, because I'm in the field, I just go straight to my camera and I download by the USB port. So I plug it in and there we go. Now I'm just going to share the screen over here and let me have a look. I'll put my little glasses on. Right, now we go up to the top here and you've got import. So press on the import button and here we go. Now it says here that to display thumbnails, connect the camera and turn the camera on. That means that I haven't got it turned on, and I turn it on, press OK, and there we have it, and press start transfer. It gets to the end here and it will say, well, it'll ask me if I want to download from the second card. Always press yes, because I can never remember if it's if it's overflowed or not. And so I press yes, and there was nothing there, so then okay. Now it brings me back to NX Studio. Now, as you can see over here, it's laid it out in a new numbered folder. Now, they were just blank images because I want to go straight into one that I've helped to sort out earlier. Now, we go up to here to the thumbnails, and you can see, you know, everything's there as if it was downloaded. Now, the beauty of this NX Studio 2 is once I've downloaded from this card, if I go out and shoot like another, 5,000 images, and I've already got like 3,000 on there, I'm stuck a little bit because I have to sit there and wait. But NX Studio remembers where you left off last, and it will pick up straight from there. So it's really, really good. Now, another thing I want to point out too, I shoot on Hoodman cards, and they are so fast. I never fill up the buffer. They're absolutely sensational. Give them a try. Right, so we've done our import. Now, what I do next is, with my way of doing things, I'll open them up. You can come up the top here and make it full screen. Now, I go through, and the ones that interest me, in my first pass, I mark with a 5. So I go through here, and that one. Oh, that's a better flex. Boys, I love the flex. That's not a bad shot, not too bad. Look at the focus on that Nikon. Okay, well, another flex. Right. There's Big Steve, the goalie. Andy Kamenzen, he's a bit of a hockey legend, actually. Played for Swiss and Australian teams. Right, so as you can see, I'm going through, just select a few. I'm not going to get all the way through the images. But then what I do when I get to the end is I will then do a second pass. And the second pass, oh yeah, he took out the goalie here. It was pretty classic. The second pass, I go through and I mark with a 6. Now, the reason why I start with a 5 is because I want to have somewhere to go. So if I'm going through these and I go, oh, it's not really a 5, it's a 4 or a 3 or, whatever, I change it. So then the second pass I'll do as a 6. And then after, I might be, shooting my kids' hockey, and I just want to isolate some images of him. And so I'll go through and put a 7. So you can just, put whatever you need, whatever you want on it. And, it makes it all pretty easy. Right. For the sake of this, I'm now going to go back to the browser, and we're going to pretend that we have done our first pass. So I press up here on 5, right? Now I should change this to all formats as well. But as you can see, you can change that to NEF, JPEG, TIFF, movie. You can go to stills only, video only, but I'll put it on all formats. Now, if I make this bigger, it goes, right? And so in the early days, I'd get lost, be like, oh no, I'll do an update or something, and be like, oh, why have they got rid of that? So you just press here, and then by file type, and then you can go to, NEF, which is all we've got there. So let's just make this bigger again so that we can see it. We don't need all that. As you can see, over here, we've got adjustments, info, and, your copyright and stuff like that. The info's, it's just like Camera Raw. It's really good process. Right, so now I've got the 6 or the 5s. So then I'll go through and I will highlight the 6 as well so I can see it and toggle back. And yeah, I like that. Flex is better on that one, so mark that with a 6. There you go, give that a 6, give that a 6. So these are all the ones that interest me, and then I'm going to go and edit them later. And we'll take you through that. I'll just select a couple. As you can see down the bottom here, it's telling me, I'm at 11 of 27. So it's all the information is there that you need. I normally don't hang around the goalies if it's my team, because I feel like I'm bringing them bad juju. There's always a goal scored. Actually, so that's probably a 5. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, see, that would be a good one to keep, and so would probably that one. Have I got the puck in it? Yes, I have. Nearly through. Oh, I'll give that a 6 as well. So then I go up and I press on the 5. I get rid of all the 5s, and now I've only got the 6s. So what I'll do is I'll go to the browser, and what do we want to have a look at? So let's have a look at this one here. What we do now, just double click on it and up it comes. Right, so what we're going to do here is straighten up the horizons. So this toolbar up here is, for frequently used, like, I've got adjustments, the crop tool, the straighten tool. I find if I press on the straighten tool, it brings it up a lot quicker. Now, let's just fix that up a little bit. Perfect. And then I'll go to the crop tool. Now, I like the idea of leaving the ref in the BG. We want to bring it over here, make sure that we've got all that ice coming up. Crop it down a little bit. And then there you go. So then I'd go on to the next one and do exactly the same thing. So straighten it up and do a little crop, probably like this. I can't see my screen all that well, so excuse me if I'm not doing it that beautifully. Right, so I'm going to go back to this other one and I'll show you. Right, so we want to bring that up a little bit. So we'll go to the exposure, probably half a stop, and just bring that down. So there you go. And you just go through all your images the same way like that. Now what we do is we go back to the browser. We've got our 6s, pretend they're all edited. Right, come up here, edit, select all, and then we go over to export, right? So export, what have I got? I've got it set at the moment for 3,500. Now that's just because I'm putting it onto Facebook. So, if you've got your kids' sporting event, do exactly that. I've found that lately that Facebook is limiting how many images I can upload, and I don't know whether that's size or how many actual images. I think it's more likely to be size. I can't find any details anywhere. So I just drop it down a little bit and helps me get through. Now you can go down here, specified folder. I can do them in here and then isolate the JPEGs and make a different folder and just copy them over. Or you can go to a specified folder and, just go to browse. So where are we? Current projects. this one here, and you go new folder, and I put this under selects. So then I go to create, it's in there, and then I'm all stuck here, and then open, and then export. Now it's going to do those 14 images. You can see down the bottom here that it's letting you know what you're doing. You can actually go on to another folder while that's all happening. You know, you can go back up here, and as you see, it's still going through it without any problems whatsoever. So we're going back to this folder, and at the moment they're all going into the selects. So that's all done. So then we come back in. You can either go straight double click here or come down and open the folder in the folders bar. Because I've got it in RAW at the moment, that's why I can't see the images. So I can either go to all formats, and I'm going to see the JPEGs. So just deselect the 6, or I can go to JPEG and you see the same thing, 1 of 14. What I do now is I will go back to all formats. I will select all the 6s, and I'll make another folder. So you can come down here, right click it, go to new folder, and we're going to do this as NEF or raw selects, whatever you want to call it. Select all, just deselect those 2 folders, and I'm going to bring these over into the NEF selects. Now I'm going to deselect the 6, and the reason why I want to do that is because these are all the leftovers. Now, I won't do this straight after a match because I might want to go through them, but I will 100% do it after a week or something like that. I'll just go back, select them all from on my hard drive. I'll delete, they're gone. So you're saving all that space. Let's be honest, you've gone through, you've done your selects. There's a lot of crap that's in there. You don't want to keep it. Just get rid of it. You're never going to look at it again later. Well, the point is you're never going to miss them because they're gone. And you've kept your selects. So there's a reason why you like them, and that's where they are. Now, from this point on, right, now because you've done all your changes over here to your RAW files, now you can open in Photoshop. And, you know, for me, I use DxO Nik filter plugins. And, you know, I love them. Like I said before, you can save it as JPEG or TIFFs. You know, tagged image file is going to give you a massive file, and you can do whatever you want. It's actually no different to you going to Camera Raw and then opening it in Photoshop after that. But it's, like I said, it's proprietary to Nikon, and you do get a better result using the RAW facilities in NX Studio. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So give it a crack. Now, I'm pretty sure I covered everything. You know, you can come up here and select date shot, name, date modified. I don't go name because if I get to the end of a folder, then it will start at 0 again, and then my images are all over the place. So I go with date shot. But, you know, you've got all those different options. You know, you can press here on Big Steve and, you know, bring him up to full screen like that. Absolutely easy as. Just press escape to get out of that. I don't know what to say, you know, apart from it's really, really good system. You know, well, actually, this is a good point here. You've got your JPEG, right? So now you've got no basic RAW controls, but you can go and make some more adjustments here. You know, I don't recommend going for brightness. I'll probably just go to the blacks and bring it over to that peak, and, you know, maybe the whites as well, bring it over that peak, and, you know, that kind of sorts it out. Right. Now, I know that there's no 2 photographers out there that have the same workflow system. I totally get that. This that I've delivered to you today is really for those that are out there searching, trying to figure out whether NX Studio is the right system for them. All I can say is that it's proprietary built for your Nikon camera, for your NEF files. You're not going to get a more accurate bit of software out there that will read your files the way they're meant to be read. Now, Camera Raw, it won't do that. And you've probably read a million complaints on the internet that it's not as accurate, and it's not. Give it a crack. This is for those out there that are struggling to find a faster system, and also those new to Nikon. And you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, you should use Capture or you should use Lightroom. I get that. I understand the people that do. For me, I find it confusing, and this is why I've stuck with this super simple system with NX Studio. So give it a crack. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, hey, not everything works for everyone. If you could do the bell, that'd be cool. If you could subscribe, that'd be even cooler. And thanks for watching. Cheers.